Hi everyone, Hannah here, welcome to my channel. I'm so sorry that this is late, but here it is finally, and this is going to be my twin girls 1 month and 2 month updates, as well as obviously introducing them to you. So let's get started. Because she's wide awake, I'm going to do Alyssa first. And as Aria's just grunting away in her sleep. So here, oh, come on monkey, is little Alyssa. Say hi. She is twin 2. She was born second. And how she is now that she is 2 months is absolutely incredible. When she was born, she weighed £3.11, so she was Diddy. And as of her 2 month weigh, she now weighs £7.5. So yeah, she's nearly doubled her birth weight, which is absolutely amazing. They both have nearly doubled their birth weight, in all fairness. Grunting away in her sleep. I'd love to know what they think about. If you hear any loud bangs, that would be because Elena is outside in the garden playing with pots and the dirt, I believe, which was the last time I checked. So yeah, she now weighs £7.5, and they are both, she is still in small baby clothes for the majority, because yeah, newborn drown her. Well, no, newborn are okay, but 0 to 3 are still way too big on both of them. So yeah, they're still on, they're in tiny baby and small baby clothes still. Sleeping wise, this is the same for both of them. They sleep really well. They are, right now this is a rare occurrence for Alyssa. Both of them are normally more sleepy during the morning and the day, and then come late afternoon, evening time, they will wake up for their big stretch of being awake. They will have a feed at about anywhere between 8 and 10, depending on how they fed through the day. Then they will either, depending on what time that final feed was for the night before putting them down for sleep, they will either wake up around 2 AM sometimes for a feed. But last night, which Mummy was rather surprised with and thankful for, they had their last feed at 10 PM, and then they slept straight through, both of them, and then only started stirring for a feed about 5 o'clock. So yeah, they went for that good whole stretch, and then they've wanted another feed 3 hours today, so they know what they want. Feeding wise, they are both on bottles. They are both on 100 millilitres every feed. Sometimes they have more, sometimes they have less, just depending on how hungry they are and then how much they want to eat. Some of the little milestones that health visitors and things look out for. They are now smiling. Not right now, she looks very, very serious. But they both are smiling. They are starting to follow, which is absolutely so adorable to watch. They've got a mobile over the playpen in the living room, and they put that on, and both of them will just do that with their eyes and follow them round. It is really sweet to watch. I don't know if you can hear it, but Alyssa, bless her, has had a very bad cold about the past 2 weeks. As if just to prove my point, you go and do big breaths, don't you? So yeah, she's just getting over that cold, bless her. They both have tongue tie, unfortunately. Now at their 8-week check, because we have had that and their jabs, which neither of them liked, bless them, but at their 8-week appointment, the doctor, the way he phrased it was that it goes in and out of fashion, which didn't really seem, there's Elena, that didn't seem, I don't know, a nice thing to say, I guess. I get his point, because medical professions always change. Sometimes, yes, we need to snip that right away and correct it, and other times, no, it's fine, as long as they're feeding and all of that. And are you going to sleep, baby? And seeing as both of them are feeding well-ish, they will eat their bottles and they will down them really fast sometimes, but then there are other times where they just can't get a latch on them properly and they end up losing most of the milk. So I am going to be making another appointment with a different doctor at our surgery so that I can find out what they say and what they might recommend. I think that is it for Alyssa, who has now gone off to sleep, bless her, but I bet as soon as I put her down she's going to wake up. Oh, Warrior. Oh, everyone's making noises right now. Oh. In regards to sleeping, they do sleep next to each other because they are still in the bassinet that is next to our bed. Hello, Miss Aria. And they don't actually wake each other up. They are both grunters and squirmers in their sleep, but literally I've gone over and one of them's bopped the other one in the face just by moving in her sleep, and they haven't been fussed at all, which is really nice, and things, so it means that we don't have to separate them like sooner. They might change when they get bigger. They might be more light sleepers, but for the minute they're not. When they get into a deep sleep, they are in a deep sleep. Oh, as you can see from Miss Aria holding her head up, Alyssa can do that as well, but just not as strong. But yeah, here is Miss Aria, who's now woken up for you. When she was born, she weighed 4 pounds 10, and now my little lady weighs 8 pounds 3. So she also, again, has nearly doubled her birth weight, which the doctors were happy with. Hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. Hi. And yeah, all the same things for Alyssa apply with Aria. They sleep really, really well. Yeah, what are you doing? Sleep really well. They feed really well when they want to. Oh, Buffy. Any sick? No. Neither of them are really sicky babies. They were when they were younger. When we first brought them home, weeks 3 and 4. They were sicky babies for a little bit, which was just them sorting it out, and I think getting used to formula a little bit, because when all the time that we were in the hospital, we were there, because we were in NICU for nearly 2 weeks. All the time we were in the hospital, I was able to express for them. They were either, depending on their stats and what equipment they needed at the time, they were either fed straight from me or tube fed but fed my milk. So they had that. They had the odd formula bottle if I hadn't been able to express enough or they were still hungry and things afterwards. But no, while we were at the hospital, they were 95% me, and since coming home they ended up being more formula than they were breast milk, unfortunately, because when we got home, when we got discharged, it was that we did have to keep an eye on both of their weights, more Alyssa's weight than Aria's, but we did have to keep an eye on it, which was why we then decided to go on to formula and bottles well, more bottles than formula, because then we could make sure they were getting at least a minimum amount every feed that would then help with their weight gain. But however, I didn't think it was right to feed one of them from me and the other one have to solely be bottle fed. So we bottle fed both of them, and that's just kept up. But unfortunately, I built up a bit of a reserve when I was at the hospital, which was brilliant because I went in the freezer and everything, and I was able to keep up expressing for a couple of weeks actually coming home. So for at least the first 4, maybe 5 weeks, they did have breast milk and things as well. However, now, is that your hands? They are all formula now. So yeah, but it's working for them. Is that a yummy hand? Is that Aria? Out of the 2 of them, Aria is going to be our thumb sucker, because she last night did find her thumb and then was quite happy just sucking on it for a good 5 minutes. Because normally that partly means they're hungry, but I don't think that means you're hungry this time, because you literally just had a feed. That's why you're all still squirmy. So yeah, that is everything to do with them. They are both putting on weight beautifully. They've had their jabs and their first set of injections. They sleep well. They feed well. I just need to go make that second doctor's appointment. That would be Elena. Their second doctor's appointment to go double check with someone about their tongue tie. So yeah, they are doing absolutely brilliantly. I'm going to lie you back down with your sister. So yeah, that is how they are doing. And I'm also going to put some videos at the end that I've taken, and just some pictures of them for you, so you can see how they've been for the past 2 months. Well, more the last month. I've just gone and put the twins down in the playpen in the living room, so that when I'm done with this I can just go straight through there and finish up and do all the rest of the chores for the day. Glenn's out there now with them and Elena. And then before I forget, I forgot to mention that Aria is, yes, in the same small baby kind of clothes as Alyssa. However, there are some of those that now don't fit her at all. So she has had to go up to the £10 new baby clothes and like first size newborn kind of ones, which is the irony of that entire sentiment, because last week they were running out of clothes. Because last week I went and bought them a load more, I say load, but a few more extra clothes, like some outfits and things because the weather's getting nicer, and just some other basic essentials, and now about half of them don't fit Aria. So I'm now my brain's just going, well, what do I do with them? Because like the silly plant that I am, I took the tags off them, so I can't actually return them. But yeah, so Aria sometimes, depending on the make, is actually in bigger size clothes than Alyssa. Quick part about how I'm doing postpartum. There isn't really much to say. Postpartum wise, I am doing absolutely brilliantly. I had both of the girls vaginally and I recovered from that very well. No issues or complications with that at all. My bleeding pretty much stopped within a few days of coming home because it had calmed down a lot. And other than that, there hasn't really been much else with me. I mean, I would show you my stomach. Auntie Jade's just come through the door. I would show you my stomach, but I'm in a dress, so next update I will do a postpartum shot of my stomach just to see. Weight wise, I don't actually know how much I weigh, but I do know that I weigh a little bit lighter than when I was before I was pregnant, because just to look at me I can see the difference aside from my stomach. Any food or anything else that I've been eating, any weight that I've been gaining has been around my stomach, if I have, because that's where it's noticeable. I look thinner in the rest of me aside from my stomach. But it is what it is. So yeah, that is pretty much, I've forgotten something, I know I have. If you can think of anything that I've forgotten or that you'd like to ask me, please drop me a comment below. I do have a video that I've done of their birth and our time in the NICU. However, that was rather hard for me to do at the time, and I'm probably going to redo the video but as 2 separate bits. So I'll do one video that is of the birth and going into hospital firstly, and then I'll do a second video of our 2 weeks in NICU, just so I can pace myself with it, because it was really overwhelming and I kind of got a lot, I was fumbling over my words when I recorded those videos. So yeah, I'm going to do that for you guys. So bear with me with that, because obviously it's taken me this long to be able to do this video, unfortunately. But they are planned, they are in the works. If you would like any other videos from me, let me know. If you want like some day in the life kind of videos, I have done a few, but I'm not very good at it, so I'm trying. But let me know again in the comments, and if you are watching this and you would like to catch up with how my pregnancy was, then I will leave a link to the playlist of that in the description also below. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.